So, hello everyone, and once again, we are going to discuss on the same topic, which is learner autonomy. And as we had discussed in the last video, that uninvolved parenting style, especially during adolescent age, may bring really worst impact on the development of the child, because adolescent needs are large, and that is a phase where the most of the support of the parent is needed for the child, because of the way he's developing, the way he's growing, the way his emotional needs are are growing, right? So in this case, if we want that the learners must develop learner autonomy, then we must take care of those needs which are ignored in uninvolved parenting styles. So what I'll do is today, we'll try to bring in a case, we'll try to read the case, and from the case, we'll try to bring out the characteristics of an adolescent, and based on which I think as teachers we will also come to know what are the things that we should be taking into consideration in our classrooms, so that they become more supportive of such adolescent learners with us. So I'll share the screen, and you will be able to see what we are discussing on. This case is of an adolescent male, and the adolescent male is named as Luke over here. And if you just see over here, this is a kind of issues in human development, education 566. I don't know from who has written it, but I think this case is good enough for us to understand the characteristics of an adolescent. And so this is the index, and we'll quickly go to the case. And what I've done is I've highlighted things in yellow, right? And if you see this, adolescence over here is characterized by a roller coaster ride, which means that there are many things that happens with such young children. And like if you see over here, something which is marked in yellow, highlighted in yellow, you'll see that adolescence is a period of development marked by biological changes, new experiences, and new developmental tasks. And so if you see, you will see all of these aspects in the case coming ahead. So if you see physical development, it is written that Luke is 16 years old, and he falls under the adolescent developmental period category. Right now, if you see over here, it is said that his BMI is 29.3, and then just little. Let me just borrow the highlighter here. Yeah. So if you see over here, then it says the BMI is 29.3, and just below, couple of lines, you'll see that that this teen may be obese. Okay, so it is suggesting that this BMI is considered to be into the range of being obese, the child being obese, Luke, and he's likely to have those health related problems because of weight. And but then if you see the next line, it says that if you see Luke, that is the last thing that would come to anybody's mind, that he is overweight, that he is obese, and that he might have health related issues over here. So for a teacher, like we said, that we are discussing on learner autonomy and the parenting style, and on the other hand, the role of a teacher. So if you see that this teacher in a class must take into consideration the lifestyle of such children. You might see such children to be very, skinny. You might see them upwardly not, overweight. But if you suggest, if you see their BMI, you'll come to know that they are in that range where they need to be monitored. Okay, so this perspective of the teacher must be in the mind that he might have, he doesn't seem like, but he might have health related challenges. So whatever you see in front of you is not what it looks like, right? He may not seem obese, but he may be obese. That's one thing that as teachers we should be taking into consideration. I think we also need to draw the attention of a parent towards such health issues also, right? If you see a little odd things with the child, that eating a lot but is not seen in weight gain, uh, get those small checkups done for the child, that you know uh, he might have germs, he might have other issues where the weight is not seen, but you will see the child eating a lot of food but not getting converted into weight. So what I'm suggesting with all these small examples, that as teachers we need to keep our eyes and our mind open to um, what you see in front of you. It seems like nothing, but there might be something. So that point is what I'm trying to emphasize from here. um, if we go a little ahead, so the next point is that in that adolescent period, Luke is characterized by he enjoys working out, right? So he's into basketball, football, and part of sports, and you will see him working out. So you'll see that such children, since they are growing, they also have this image issues where they would like to uh, uh, look good in front of people. So that appealing persona, that personality that they they have that fascination that I must look good in front of people, so they exercise a lot. So whatever you see in front of you, you should be able to understand that this child is wanting to look good. So if you give him a little appreciation, that whatever you are wearing today, or whatever you are doing for yourself, you look good. So that teacher has to keep into consideration that children of this age, they like to look good, they like to feel good, they want that others look at them and appreciate them. So you would see a lot of styling things with them, a lot of hair uh, styles with them, right? So that is okay. We have to be okay with such children. We cannot stigmatize them that you know uh, you are into this age and you're not into academics, and you're all the time combing your hair, trying to look good. And it is okay, it is their age where they do all these things, so consider them as normal children. Okay. So you would see that he has a lot of awards also, so he's into academics also. So if you strengthen these points, which you feel that is going to help him, awards and participation in exercises and sports events and all, it is all good. I mean, their intention may be that I exercise and I look good. Use that to develop him in the right direction. Okay, use, because exercising is good for health. If you see in the first thing, you see that he is obese, so for him it is good. Strengthen that you look good if you do this. So as teachers and as parents, we need to uh, make a good use of what they are into and make them channelize into right direction. um, Now the textbook of lifespan development, if you see that it says that they eat a lot of fried foods and they exercise less, but Luke is not in these lines. So I would say that they're characterized by eating more of junk foods but exercising less. Since you see that they're characterized by they looking good, why don't you say that you look good if you exercise? Use it the other way, but ask them to do the right thing. Why not? If you go a little more ahead, you will see that, but Luke does not have much of unhealthy choices. Luke has a lot of pubertal characteristics where you see the onset of maximum growth in him. growth in terms of, the biological changes that he's getting acquainted with, like his height, drastic spurt of growth in terms of height. He might develop a lot of hair on his face in terms of mustaches and beard, and the voice changes, that he has a loud voice, and you'll see a lot of strength in that. So that's how they are developing. And so it is, you as teachers, I'm saying that again and again, treat them as normal, because these are the changes that they are getting into them. So you'll see that they're speaking loudly sometimes. Why are you speaking so loudly? No, it's not that, it is the way they are developing. They would want to say hi, that voice, it's okay, right? Rather than getting a little irritated, it is okay for us to treat them normally. um, you would see he will also have facial hair, and so there are a lot of I have highlighted and written in the text box, a lot of biological changes that he's getting into. If you see language and cognitive development, he feels boring into the classes, yeah. uh, you should not get offended if they say that, I'm feeling boring in your class. I mean, you do something which will spark interest in the child, or spark interest in the class. You have a class of so many adolescents in front of you, they have varied interests. Use those interests and your way of teaching, so that they all get into it, rather than saying it is boring, right? They also want to socialize, so and work is a little less favorite. So socialize, and they have a lot of groups, big groups in the classes also. And so they want to walk in such a way that people look at them, they want to talk in such a way that people look at them, they'll try and make groups, they might make mischiefs in the class. It is all part of their developmental cycle, I think. He participates into the lot of talent identification programs. He experiences adolescent egocentrism, where you see that little self-centeredness, or little his point of view is the right. So uh, that's how they are developing. I think their higher order cognitive functions are also developing. So you would not see the best of the characteristics of maturity in front of you, but it is okay, because they're still into developmental phase. We must not categorize them as self-centered children, but I think their period is marked with that egocentrism. So that is natural for them to behave like that. They're self centered. They want to think about them. It is more of I than all of us or you. You will feel that they are less empathetic to you. That is okay, because it's part of the developmental cycle. And so, as teachers, we should be making an effort to, let go of these when you know that, and get into more of how to make sure that you make them develop into the right direction using all these characteristics is our role. Um, you will see improvement in executive functioning, but this prefrontal cortex, where you will see that a lot of higher order cognitive functions are processed, like decision making, reasoning, planning, critical thinking, creative thinking, all this is part of the prefrontal cortex. So this cortex develops over a period of time, till the age of 22, 24. So you will see that there is improvement in cognitive functioning, but not to an extent that you will be able to see wise decisions all over the tasks that they perform. So you might feel that for now he is good, but for the other part is not. It is okay, because the brain is still developing, and the cognitive functions are still developing. um, if you see that when he's asked that whether are you into alcohol or tobacco or marijuana, so he says that he's not, but for steroids he said that I've thought of. So that, see, it is such a period where they're characterized by experimenting with a lot of things. Okay, so he says I've thought about it, but no, I've not yet indulged into it. So there is still a possibility. So whatever you see in front of you, you have to see that those choices are available with them, and they are very um, they do take risks for such choices, because the period is marked by such developmental characteristics, right? Their prefrontal, as I said, is still developing. So they may, for them, it is okay to take risks and see how it triggers their development, right? So such thoughts may come by, but as a teacher, it is important for you to get into interventions that may develop their prefrontal in a better way, right? If you see the emotional development, his parents are divorced, right? But he still is not into any other, it that has not affected him much. But as a teacher, we need to say that whatever we see in front of us, you might have children who have background of such divorce issues, where emotionally we do not know how it has affected them. So that also is something that as teacher we must be taking into consideration. He depends on his friends advice, and that is also okay, because that's how they are. They live in groups, they socialize, they like socializing, so they are with their friends, they are with people around. So the decision making is as part of what the group also sometimes decide. And it is clear that he's developing in his identity, and while he's developing his identity, he's also getting into arguments with his parents or friends, or because he wants to see how right I am, and he's expressing his views because he's developing those. So that is okay. He starts arguing, but it says that that argument is for, when the parents are uh, uh, using him to, his rights are getting curbed. When the curfew is there on his moving about with friends and all, and timings and all that. So that's where he has conflicts with his parents. But it says it's very important. Everyday negotiations and minor disputes not only are normal, but also can serve positive developmental function of helping the adolescent make the transition from childhood dependency to adult independence. So it is a these conflicts are normal, and that develops that flexibility in his thinking process, right? That adaptation, that I would say, when the parent says no and the child wants to go, that flexibility that he creates, that develops at this time. So it says that the negotiations and minor disputes are normal and serve as positive developmental functions. That's where he starts thinking, my parent is saying no, I want to but still go ahead. How do I manage this, satisfying my parent, even my wish? And that, so that adaptation, that modifications, that flexibility in his thought process gets developed, and it is considered to be, positive, right? He gets into, that romantic relationships, getting into them is also very normal. And so all of this is normal, and I think so you would see that the adolescent is characterized by various uh, changes and various needs. And so if we see that, I'll just stop sharing over here, um, and share this, so that we can complete what we are trying to see. So now you'll be able to see. He has a lot of secondary or socio-psychological needs, where we say the needs for security, emotional support of the parent. The social way, where we said that he wants to become, he likes socializing, right? So that attention, that validation from people, hey, come here and let's go out and do this, do that. Social attention that he needs, and that belongingness is there. Economic security is something that they would like to have. Money is something that, that economic support that parent has to, provide to. You will see need for approval, where they want to be recognized, they want to be appreciated, they want that, pat on their back, and that center of attraction, that admiration, all that. So he would like to look good, feel good, show people that, I am this, my personality is like that. That's all part of that adolescent need. That need is need for approval, need for freedom and independence, where we saw that Luke was arguing with the parents for his independence, for his freedom. He wants to go out. So if the lesser independence is given, that's where, he will feel compromised, he will conflict. he gives expression to his feelings, emotions, and ideas, and that need for self expression and achievement. He wants that adequate opportunities to express his talent. So that school is important, where he will be able to, express his talent in various forms: music, art, craft, academics, competitive exams, and talents, and so many things that he wants to get into. And the very primary is the physiological needs: the need for oxygen, need for water, food, rest, sleep, sex gratification. These are all physiological needs. So if you want to, um, read in detail this article, I've given the link of that article, and you should be able to see that in there. Thank you.